Well, welcome to the 700 Club. For today's top stories, let's go over to the CBN newsroom.
Gordon, ISIS has claimed responsibility for the deadly terrorist attack on New Year's at a nightclub in Istanbul, Turkey. ISIS says its soldier opened fire from an automatic rifle and also detonated hand grenades in, quote, revenge for God's religion. Turkish authorities are still on the hunt for a lone gunman. George Thomas has the story.
It took him just 7 minutes. From the moment he arrived by taxi at the popular nightclub on the east side of Istanbul, the gunman started spraying his bullets. When the brutal assault was over, 39 people, including 27 foreigners, were dead. 69 others were wounded, including American Jake Rock, who was shot in the leg.
I don't know. I saw one person. They're shooting. I'm hiding, man, so...
Rock, along with some 600 people, were inside the venue celebrating the new year. Then in walked the terrorist, who reportedly shouted Allahu Akbar as he began firing at will. The security camera captures bullets grazing the bar's railing, and a man in red trying desperately to escape, but is trapped as the killer approaches, firing a single shot from his AK-47.
People were falling down because of shooting. That was a terrible thing.
ISIS has claimed responsibility, saying the operation was carried out by a heroic soldier of the Caliphate who attacked the most famous nightclub where Christians were celebrating their pagan feast.
The nightclub, it's a target, it's a symbol of secular decadence that makes it very attractive to jihadi terrorists.
A massive manhunt is now underway as Turkish police are also investigating whether the killer was part of the same cell that carried out a deadly suicide attack at Istanbul's airport last June. This New Year's massacre was just the latest in a wave of violence to hit the nation. Turkey, which is fighting alongside the U.S. against ISIS, has witnessed 18 major terror attacks on its soil since 2015. The January 1st attack was number 19. George Thomas, CBN News.
A new warning about persecution of Christians around the world in 2017. Release International says violent attacks on Christians are expected to increase based on the trends from 2016. The ministry says persecution of Christians has been increasing from Islamic militants and from the governments in Islamic countries. The trends don't look good in other countries either. For instance, in India, recorded attacks from Hindu militants have increased dramatically. Release says the report is a wake-up call to take our prayers and practical support for our persecuted family to a new level. If 2017 is like other years in the past, thousands of Christians will visit biblical sites in Israel. Now, one tour uses ancient artifacts to bring to life more details from the time of Jesus. Chris Mitchell brings us that story from Jerusalem.
Have you ever wondered what Jerusalem looked like 2,000 years ago when Jesus walked the earth? This giant model of Jerusalem from the Second Jewish Temple period begins the Cradle of Christianity tour. Visitors to the Israel Museum see artifacts that will enhance stories from the Bible.
This is Jerusalem that Jesus knew. This is Jerusalem that Herod the Great built.
Senior curator David Meverock said the model will give Christians a better perspective of specific areas mentioned in Scripture.
Right behind me is the Temple and the Temple Mount, the largest monument in the city. The model, built in a scale of 1 to 50, shows these important sites that Jesus goes through. For instance, on my left are the pools of Bethesda, where Jesus performs one of his miracles of healing. It's all in the surrounding of this city, which has only one temple for one God.
The famous shrine of the book housing the Dead Sea Scrolls is the next stop. The scrolls include the oldest copies of books of the Hebrew Bible. And then there's the Temple Mount.
We still have the supporting walls of the Temple Mount. The Wailing Wall is the western wall of the support of this huge project. But only very few finds were left from the buildings itself.
Two important artifacts from there are part of the tour.
One of them is an inscription in Hebrew, a sign for the priest to stand and blow the horn for the entrance of Saturday, meaning the time to cease work, and again at the exit of Saturday when you can resume work. The other sign is in Greek, It is the perimeter that surrounded the temple itself in the Temple Mount, with signs in Greek and in Latin forbidding Gentiles to enter the temple itself.
According to Mevorach, it's rare to find artifacts that directly relate to historical figures.
In the case of the trial and crucifixion of Jesus, we've been extremely lucky. 3 finds relate directly to the story and to the details, and 2 of them relate directly to the most important people in these final days of Jesus.
One is an ossuary, a burial bone box inscribed with Joseph, son of Caiaphas, the high priest.
We are almost 100% sure that this is the Caiaphas that we know from the stories in the New Testament, the high priest that arrests Jesus and turns him into the Romans for his trial.
The second is a stone bearing the name of Pontius Pilate. And perhaps the most interesting artifact for Christians is evidence of the Roman practice of crucifixion, found in a bone box.
This is the only find in the whole world of actual crucifixion.
And what do visitors have to say?
Just seeing the artifacts made it come alive, and to see what I've read about made it come alive in my life.
To see so many artifacts of world history and of our Christian faith in one place so quickly, and to be able to comprehend it so quickly is just really amazing, and it really confirms our faith. It confirms what the Bible teaches us, and teaches us the place of our Christian faith within world history context. It's outstanding.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, the Israel Museum, Jerusalem.
Looks like an incredible exhibit there. Well, those are today's top stories from CBN News. Gordon and Terry will be back with more of today's 700 Club right after this.